the DOI, every good journal will have a DOI. Okay. DOI is distinct objective, digital object identifier. So for example, this one. This was published in 2019, my article, and this is of Taylor Francis Routledge, and it contained roughly 86 footnotes. So that's how you do it. Sci-Hub, you go to Sci-Hub and you put it your DOI, put in for it here, and it works. The Sci-Hub works only for, I think, till 2022 you will find all articles there, virtually all. But the last, I think, 1 year manar nahoy, 2023 manar ji likha hoise, or 2022 last opine jimila aise article, ibla sake nahe.
The law case that has been used by the journal.
মানে সব উলাই যায়, মানে 2021 মানলৈকে উলাই যায় নিজে দেখিছোঁ। 2022 মানৰ পৰা কিছুমানৰ নাথাকে, 23 মানৰ নাথাকে। So that way. So that's how you move forward. Okay.
Sir,
okay. So that's how you primarily do with primary sources and secondary sources. You all are aware of it. But again,
sir. No, sir. Oh, ठीक है sir. Oh, ठीक है sir. आज ही. Oh, ठीक है. हाँ ठीक है सर, मैं 4:30
what is very important over here is that when you are writing an article, I don't know my more tips bila kamot ahise na aibo ahise hal journal thake
মানে ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল পেপার
থাকে
এটা DOI
every individual article has a DOI.
আচ্ছা
Every individual article.
First page kind of advertiser.
So every individual article will have. It is there in usually in all good publishers. All good. Indian blabot iman na, except for EPW. Indian blabot iman na, except for EPW. Kintu jiman sage or publications or Routledge or publications, or for that matter Blackwell, Wiley, Springer, or for the matter MIT Press, Cambridge University, Oxford University, invariably DOI is there. So here's the problem now. Indian journals are facing a problem because a DOI to not have digital format to not have. Very few Indian journals have DOI. They have this provision for DOI. I think it's expensive to maintain also.
Probably, I think it should, sorry, in case of this open access journal, always open access journal, there is always seen as in your URL, so DOI number. So, and open access journal, another factor is of impact factor. The impact factor is very from journal to journal, or is it a definite framework for or any system?
I'll come to this. Open access, one of the slides is dealing with open access. Open access is a basically way of telling that it has to be made public. It's a public journal, so there is a cost of maintaining it. So you have to pay. So open access journals are, you have to pay for it. And because they have to maintain it in the server, they have to update the server, so you have to pay for it. And any open access journal will be minimum, I think, $1,200. That is roughly around 1,20,000 rupees. Edna kumbata mole pothaise ki publish open access in our journal, $1,499. 1,50,000 rupees are kitabe kinilom. I should have published by paying, I don't know, maybe kismane kore. Asale open access kune kore. সায়েন্সৰ মানুহবিলাকে যাৰ এটা পাব্লিকেশ্যনৰ পইচা থাকে, every project will have certain publication grant. So if someone gets a major research project or a minor research project and there is money for publication, that money has to be given for open access. কিন্তু নিজৰ পকেটৰ পৰা কৰিব পাৰে if someone is very rich. I am not rich, so either মই encourage কৰোঁ. But anyways, open access is one way out. So in case, but importantly, what is important to realize is that open access doesn't mean bad quality. Rather, open access means equally good quality. মানে তুমি কোৱালিটিও প্ৰডিউচ কৰিব লাগিব আৰু পইচাও দিব লাগিব। Okay, so essentially it is like a মানে এইটো নহয় কি মই বেয়া লিখিম কিন্তু পাব্লিছ কৰি দিব পইচা দিলে, আচলতে নহয়। মানে দে ইকুৱেলি স্ক্ৰুটিনাইজ অক্সফৰ্ড বা কেম্ব্ৰিজ বা সাম জাৰ্নেল লাইক দিছ বা টেইলাৰ ফ্ৰান্সিছ, দে উইল স্ক্ৰুটিনাইজ ইকুৱেলি গুড। A peer review system is so rigorous that it won't be easy publishing it even open access. তাৰমানে পইচা দিলে যে হৈ যাব এইটো বস্তু নহয়। I think it's a miss. When you are writing any kind of before you begin any paper, just ask your contemporary कि मैं ये काम तो करिब पारिम, केनेके आगबाঢ়িব পাৰিম। You just ask your friends. It's always a good idea that you have to trust your friends. এইটো নাভাবিব कि মই নিজৰ ফ্ৰেণ্ডক সুধিলে সি আইডিয়াটো চুৰ কৰি লৈ যাব। That I want to, that tendency of ours is that if I ask my friend whether this is a good topic, that he or she might take away that topic from me. So at least hey, trust to এটা হ'ব লাগে। So that therefore when you want to ask any question ki whether it is good, therefore the idea of writing a paper is that you have once you finish writing the abstract, যদি আপনি এই 150 words to লিখিব পাৰে, I'm telling you, the moment you finish your 150 words, you will find that your paper will become much more easier. So rather than leaving the abstract for the last part, you always start with the abstract. You invariably start your paper with the abstract. And when you start writing mentally, you start with the abstract. And 150 words to the likhibo pare, you can also write the same in 5,000 words. Okay. So you break it down. Your abstract likha hobo. Then you make minimum three distinct paragraphs, distinct heading. Every time you read an article, you put it in the particular segment. A article or A line to A2 segment or fit ahead. This article falls rightly in my second segment. This article falls rightly in my third segment. Always keep a tab on the footnotes. Insert footnote tate. Don't leave it for the end. Okay. The moment you leave it for the end, that means it's going to be a problem. Okay. The more the footnotes, the more the endnotes, the more genuine the article is. Okay. That means you are showing it's a genuine article. And তাতে যিমানে ফুটনোট হ'ব এইটো নহয় কি আপোনাৰ আৰ্টিকেল বেয়া হৈছে, ইট মিনছ you have made that much effort. Okay, you see any good article in any good journal, it will have minimum 70-80 articles sources, 70-80 footnotes to any thing. So at least you are being honest rather than being saying ki more it is your contribution. Social science is key. It's a question of interpretation, right? It's a question of interpretation and it's a question of analysis. And of course, your analysis will be very different from another person's analysis. So it's a question of perspective also. Okay. So therefore, you have to be very careful about certain things. As I said, this has to be the main structure, that you have an introduction, you have the main body, and you have the conclusion. তারমানে একটা ফান্ডামেন্টাল না পড়া, you start off from general, you go down to particular thing, you analyze the particular thing, and then you generalize. So it has to be a little bit kind of a cylindrical, not that way. So essentially, the idea is that when you write the main body, don't have very small paragraphs. Every paragraph should be have a minimum of 3-4 lines of boil again. Very small paragraphs will make a problem ho jaya. You don't want your essay to be looking like a poem, right? So it has to have minimum around 3-4 lines each. So every paragraph around 50-60 words are boil again minimum level.